Thanks very much for being here. Really appreciate you spending the time with us. I value time as our most valuable asset because we're all going to die. So what I hope is that you take a couple of golden nuggets away today that are useful. And the two that I'd really like to get across are, first of all, the importance of having a plan and not arriving at a destination by accident. And the second message I'd like to get across is that the team supporting you to get everyone to a safe retirement and to make sure everyone's financially in the green, as we put it, is very strong and competent. And I'm going to start this off with a story. And it's a story about my grandfather. So my grandfather was born in 1914. And when he got to age 18, he got shipped up to Egypt. And in Egypt, he managed to get shot in World War II. Managed to get shot a couple of times, once in the knee and once in the bum. So for the rest of the time, he walked with a stiff leg, and putting on his socks was always a bit of a nightmare, but he could touch his toes, so that was okay. Now, when he got back from Egypt, he had a fairly low-paying job for his entire working career. And he worked up until the age of 63, where he retired in 1977. And at that point, he received a pension up until the day he died. He died in 2007. He also received medical benefit. And the medical benefit carried on comprehensive medical aid up until the day he died, at age 93. Now, at the time of death, the amount that he was receiving by way of benefit as a pension was about 35 times greater than what it was at the beginning. His medical benefit was about 100 times greater. That's phenomenal. So let's say something was costing 1,000 Rand, he was now getting the benefit of 100,000. So how's this all possible? Well, back then, defined benefit was the order of the day. And defined benefit is very, very simple. It's whereby your income at retirement is determined based on how long you work and your final average salary. That's no longer the case. Nowadays, it's all up to us. It's up to us as GCI, it's up to us as our clients to make sure that we have enough money to last the rest of our lives. It's up to us to make sure our retirement's okay. The scary thing is we're doing a really bad job of it. As a country, these are our stats. Can everyone in the back hear me very clearly? Super, thanks. So these are our stats. 44% of the country have got no formal retirement savings, nothing in place. 94% of the country will not have enough money to retire. So only 6% are going to be okay. Those aren't the scary stats for me. For me, the frightening stats is this next one. Half of the country think they are going to be okay. So when you go to a braai on Saturday and you look around, half of the people are going to be okay, or half are not going to be okay. Or 6% are going to be okay, but a half are going to think they're okay. And that for us is a problem. And that's where we as a company are looking to make a very, very big difference, to make all of us far more retirement aware. And I know we focus on retirement, but retirement really isn't the end goal. I believe that life is once, and we get one chance to live it. So I believe that the end goal is really to live a fulfilled life. And the reason we focus on retirement so much is that if we get that one point right, that point of retirement right, from a cash flow perspective, to plan before and to plan afterwards then becomes very easy and enables us to live our most fulfilled life. So this is our new brand, and we also introduced 4 core values into our brand. I'd like to share these with you, and I'd also like you to hold us accountable to each one of these core values. And I'm going to take you through a few of them. The first one is 360 degrees of excellence. So what we're striving for, and we're not saying it's there with every single interaction you have with us yet, but what we're striving for is that every interaction you have with GCI is absolutely outstanding. And if it isn't outstanding, we really want to hear about it. We want to hear about it and make it better. The second one is independence. Independence is at the cornerstone of GCI. We don't represent just one company. We represent absolutely everyone. We receive no additional benefit from using any one provider. And to me, that's pretty important. Because if you go to a Mercedes garage, you're not going to be sold a BMW, even though you know it's a better car. The other thing is innovation. And what I'd like to take you through is some of the innovation that we've been doing over the course of the past year. We've been partnering with a company called WealthBit, and what WealthBit aims to do is put a financial plan into the hands of each one of our clients, where you're engaged in your client and you actually understand where you stand financially on a demystified basis. So in order for you to log on to WealthBit, it's quite simple. If you go to our website, www.gci.co.za, you'll see a little button at the top there, and it says log in to WealthBit. And if you click on that, you'll be given the opportunity to put your ID number in, hopefully. Well, there we go. Put your ID number in, and what you'll be taken to is your dashboard. And this is how simple and complex retirement planning is. So your dashboard looks like that. So if you're a client of GCI's, all of your assets that we are assisting you in looking after will be automatically pulled into this system on a monthly basis and updated monthly. And you'll notice your eyes are drawn to two curves. The first one is that curve, and the second curve on the graph is that. So that top line over there is the capital line that you'd need to be on in order to achieve an income, and you probably can't see it from the back there, of 40,000 Rand per month after tax. But based on the assets this person has, which is the shaded area over there, they'll only achieve on a safe basis an income of 30,000 Rand after tax. So they're effectively running at a 9,000 Rand shortfall. Why? Because of this gap over here. So what our life revolves around is making sure that gap closes and getting that gap to close for each one of our clients. Because when they touch, we're then able to plan very easily before and after retirement. So there's more to this tool, which we'll just play the rest of the video and you'll see some of its power, which you've got full access to. So your assets will automatically be imported, and you'll see the name of the asset with the latest date stamp and value. We wanted to give our clients the ability to actually do scenario planning. So let's say you wanted to plan to go on a holiday overseas, and you didn't know if it was a good idea or a bad idea. We wanted to give you the power to understand whether it was a good or a bad idea very easily. So this is the other item I didn't mention. But if there's an asset that we're not looking after that you would like put into your plan, such as a second investment property or a money market fund, you can easily capture that, and you can see that simply by entering that other asset, instead of that line running out at age 88, your capital now lasts until age 101. So make it the most comprehensive plan that you can make it. If there's an expense event that you'd like to enter, so in this example, we're entering a holiday. It's a fairly expensive holiday. It's a 250,000 Rand holiday, so it's quite impressive. And this person wants a holiday in 2035. By adding that cash flow event to the plan, which is now planning for life, the capital doesn't last until age 101. Because of that cash flow event, it runs out a bit earlier. Now, the beginning of every single financial plan starts with a budget. If you can get your budget right, everything else becomes fairly straightforward. So we included a budget facility there where you've got retirement budget and you've got your current budget, because we all have two budgets. If you're already retired, you just simply use your retirement budget, where the budget becomes even more important. And by updating the budget with the correct budget, you'll see this person will be okay from a retirement perspective. So those two lines now touch, and because it touches, they're going to be okay for the rest of life. Now, how to plan cash flow events before and after retirement actually becomes very easy. We can do true planning. We wanted the ability to also save many plans. You might want various scenarios, 5 minutes left. I want a tight constraint here. I used to have 20 minutes back in the day, but as it's become more organized, my time's been cut down to 15. Anyway, what I'd like to take you through is our community, the GCI community, and this is the team that is supporting you every step of the way. Now, there are a couple of people who are considering merging their business with GCI, and one of the key questions that I get asked is, what happens if you die? So they're more concerned with my mortality than my mother, which I always find quite interesting. But the honest answer is nothing. Things carry on. Why? Because we've got a very, very strong management team that we've built up over the course of the past few years. And this is them. So Natasha is a director of wealth, and she heads up GCI Wealth. She won't sing her own praises too much, but she's one of only 3 women to ever have won the Financial Planner of the Year competition, which is quite an extremely high accolade. I'm going to move on to Linda just now, but Michael Stolk, he's head of group finance, and he's in the crowd there, but he's a bean counter who really enjoys bean counting, and you'll understand the significance of that just now. He's ex-PricewaterhouseCoopers. And then Jeremy Horson had a company called Merely Employee Benefits, and what we were looking for many years was a person that looked after pension funds and provident funds that wasn't a salesperson, that really cared about looking after the funds well. So he's the oldest member in our management team, and he's probably one of the hardest working chaps. He gets up at 3:30 every morning, starts working, stops at 6. So he's awesome. Natalie Hovengaar. Natalie is our head of talent. So acronym hot, she quite likes, but we don't have HR. We don't have HR in GCI. We've got head of talent because we look to bring high quality people on and then develop them. Robin Clark, she heads up compliance. We take compliance very, very seriously. So many firms outsource their compliance. We don't believe that's a clever thing to do. Outsource their compliance and they get a sample set of their files audited. Every single piece of paper in our company gets checked by our compliance team. And for many of the people within the company, she's a pain in the butt. I'd far rather have that pain now than later. Let's get things right. Then Wendell Becker. Many of you may remember Alex Funk, and he's been at the past four wealth tours. Alex, like many South Africans, has made the decision to emigrate, and he went overseas. He was snapped up in a heartbeat, and subsequently he's actually moved on to one of our providers, Schroders, in the UK, in a very senior position. Now, sometimes you get ROL. So everyone's heard of ROI, return on investment, but not everyone's heard of ROL, return on luck. Well, we got some return on luck, and about 7 years ago, I called a chap called Wendell Becker, who I'd known for many years, to mentor Alex. So Wendell was Alex's mentor, and Wendell became available to us as Alex was leaving. So we just got lucky. Wendell's got a pretty serious pedigree. He was involved in a hedge fund in Russia. He went to Sydney University and did his master's degree in applied maths. He then came back and looked after about 250 billion rand with Old Mutual in the actuaries department. So he managed a team of actuaries, a bit like herding cats. And then he worked for a global investment firm, Pine Bridge. And Pine Bridge you wouldn't have heard of. They look after about 90 billion rand. $90 billion rather. So to put that in perspective, they're about 1.5 times the size of Allan Gray. But in global terms, that's not that big. Anyway, he was lucky to get some great experience there, and we managed to get him after that. So Wendell, welcome. The last person I'd like to speak about is Linda Dunkley. Linda has her honours degree in accounts, and Linda's a bean counter that hates bean counting. Unfortunately, she's been counting for us for the past 13 years. So she's no stranger to GCI. And the reason I've called her up is that this is the 11th of our 12th wealth tour. So this is 11 out of 12 in this stint. And everyone, if they look a bit frazzled, it's because they should look a bit frazzled. It's been quite intense. But Linda's the person that's made it all happen. We just recently promoted Linda to a Chief Operations Officer. And I can tell you that she's made many headaches just disappear. And she's freed the entire team up to focus on what we are good at. And that's very important. So Linda, thank you. We've got a little bunch of flowers for you. Linda, you should also look frazzled. She's done a great job. You get to feel like a rock star with Linda around. I mean, we arrive at a venue, everything's set up. We go afterwards, we're chatting to clients, having a glass of wine. She's booked us into a hotel room. Our bags are in the hotel room. She hasn't quite taken the suits out and ironed them, but not far off. So I'd like to introduce you to our vision, and many of you know it, but I'd like to reaffirm it. Our vision is to have 150,000 of our clients either in or on their way to a safe retirement. And to this end, you are all a part of our community, and I'm going to ask for your help. So on that program, there's a button, and the button says invite friends. And what I'm imploring you to do is to click on that button that says invite friends, and anyone who you think needs to know what their retirement situation looks like, click on that button, invite them as a friend, let them do their own planning to a degree. We won't spam them with information. The only person that gets information is our compliance officer. But at least that way, they will know what their retirement status is, green, amber, or red. We need 150,000 clients in the green. So I'm going to ask your help with that. And with your help, what I'm hoping is that we change that 50% more to 100%. So on that note, I'm going to end. Thanks very much.